I saw your threads that you're live and popped over. Where did this class come from? This is a playtest that they just released like 4 days ago. So we're gonna watch this video. It's like 10 minutes long. We'll watch it together, and then we'll go check out the PDF together as well. All right, where do we go? Where do we go? Here we go.
Tell me about the Psion. Why are people always so excited for this type of, psychic magic?
This is the class that unlocks the full potential of their mind and is able to unleash all sorts of incredible effects, telepathy, telekinesis, but also far, far, far beyond that. This whole Unearthed Arcana just goes so far down the rabbit hole on what that fantasy is and how it feels every part as rich and exciting and heroic as a wizard, as a warlock, as a
Hey,
cleric,
DNA,
all
what's
of
good?
those things.
We have 4 full subclasses.
Whoa,
a
4
host
subclasses?
Of mechanics that go through the class as a whole, as well as some spells and some wild talent feats for people who want to dabble in Psion.
Okay, so not only is there a new class, but it came with 4 full subclasses and new spells and feats. Like, oh, that's pretty good.
Powers, but not want to go whole hog into the class.
Yeah.
So this is a really, really big UA article that we've been able to put together.
For those that do not know, what are psionics?
It's magic that's from the mind, right? They can cast a spell without the verbal or material components, with some caveats, obviously.
Okay.
When you do that, especially with the material part, you're
Yeah.
essentially removing the spell casting focus. You don't need a rod, you don't need a wand. This lets the Psion basically use their brain as the focus.
To be clear, psionics are actually already present in 5th edition.
100%.
We actually have a couple
What?
of very fun, wonderful psionic classes in the 2024 Player's Handbook. We have the Psi Warrior, we've got the Soul Knife, we've got Aberrant Sorcery. And so
Okay.
this UA is not necessarily introducing something new, it's building on kind of this foundation that we've set for ourselves in the Player's Handbook, in the revised rules. The
Yeah.
core mechanic of the Psion is the psionic dice mechanic. And this is something we've seen in both the Soul Knife and in the Psi Warrior. They give you
Okay.
either access to these bite-sized new psionic abilities, or they give you ways to creatively, psychically enhance what you already can do. And
That sounds a lot like the Battle Master fighter. Like, not gonna lie, with the extra dice that you get, or even like the new rogues like sneak attack, how they can do different things with their sneak attack dice.
and so we took kind of that principle and made that the foundational principle for this entire class.
In the base Psion
Yes.
class, we have subclasses.
Yes.
One of the first ones we have is
Maybe I should turn off the maybe I should turn off the closed captions.
the metamorph.
Yes.
Tell me about the metamorph. What is the flavor that's being captured here?
It's the mind over matter class. It is the idea that your mind is so powerful, that your psionic ability is so powerful that you can reshape flesh itself.
Whoa.
That it is the ability to look at someone and telekinetically make their heart start beating again. Stuff like that.
What?
That is kind of the vibe that we're going for with the metamorph. It is the subclass that can morph and stretch their own limbs because their mind supersedes the limits and reality of their body.
And one
What?
of those things they can do is briefly transform their limbs into organic weapons. They can spring a blade from their forearm made of bone. They can clump and harden their flesh into a maul.
The next subclass we have is the Psi Warper, which I love. It's
Yes.
a teleporter.
What?
You are really controlling the battlefield,
Yes.
really changing
Yeah.
space.
Being so psionically powerful and so mentally powerful that you can just change reality and change where things are positioned. It's like the chess master of the Psion subclasses. A lot of the abilities here focus on repositioning not only yourself, but your allies,
Okay.
and drawing power from being able to psychically warp space in that way.
Telekinetically pushing or pulling a creature has a lot of flexibility because a
Yeah.
creature, as we say in the rules in 2024, can willingly fail a save. So you can pull your buddy out of danger. You can push your barbarian further ahead to get closer to the monster.
Oh, whoa.
You can, as the Psywarper, you can teleport that creature somewhere horizontal to you. And if there's a pit or a dip in the floor,
Yeah.
well, you can just teleport them over that.
Yeah.
So the Psywarper is definitely going to be a subclass that rewards creative thinking.
So we have the Psykinetic, which is
Yes.
a,
Yeah, that sounds really
beefy
cool.
damage dealer.
Yes, this is our damage dealer, but they're also a little bit of our force fielder. The archetype here for the Psykinetic is the force field
Yeah.
person. It's the person who creates these force constructs that block things or blasts people away or moves people through force rather than like this sort of warping of space.
The goal
Okay.
with the Psykinetic was to feel very offensive oriented in your abilities. And to emphasize that, you
Yeah.
have an enhanced attack mode. Defense mode will come up, but also you're more incentivized to lean into that archetype of destructive telekinetic energy.
The final
Mm.
subclass in here is the Telepath.
The telepath is, along with the Psykinetic, the quintessential Psion, right? They have an expanded telepathy. They can talk to multiple creatures simultaneously through that.
Love utility for the party.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
also
yeah.
an empowered defense mode.
Yes.
Whoa.
So the Psykinetic is I am very strong on the offense.
Yeah.
The telepath is I'm very strong on the defense. And I can even expand that benefit to my party, to creatures in range of my telepathy.
And then
Whoa.
we have all these wild talents.
Yes.
Which you worked on extensively. What is the purpose of these wild talents?
So
Yes,
wild
go
talent
on.
feats are basically meant to be, hey, you want to taste the psionics, but you don't want to play a full psion or a full psionic subclass? Here you go.
Or you can
Yeah.
just double down on
Or
everything.
you can double
Hey,
down
Frostbite,
and
what's
get
going on?
really
Thanks for stopping
specific
by.
in how your psionics manifest. I think of the very classic archetype we have of the fire starter, the person who can just mentally start fires, and that was something that I personally loved, and I don't know what that says about me, but being able to sort of just like start those fires with your
DNA's.
mind
I
is
got
such
VR
a
Twitch.
cool
Nice.
sort of character trope
Good to
and
have you.
visual that we really wanted to bring, but
That's
it
awesome.
didn't quite fit in our subclass modeling. And so what we did was we took that sort of that trope and we made it into a feat that really anyone can take. So
Okay.
anyone can be a psionic arsonist. You can be a psionic arsonist.
Anyone can be a psionic arsonist, of course.
And it basically, looking at the pyrokinesis feat, which is our fire starter feat, it gives you the ability to just mentally change damage type into fire damage. So if you are playing as a scion and you want to really lean really hard into that fire starter archetype, you get a bunch of spells that deal psychic damage natively with the
My first D&D session is on Friday. Yes, that's awesome. Great. That's so cool. Oh yeah, that's in a few days, so like just less than a week. That's awesome. You're DMing? Ooh, good. Hey man, congratulations. Woo. That's awesome. I'm excited for you. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be great.
pyrokinesis feat, you can change that psychic damage into fire damage and really lean heavy into that archetype. You also get a bunch of spells that also lean into the pyrokinetic archetype and that help you cast and do even more fiery damage. And that's just one of many.
One of many. Like some of these talents are like kind of trickster wild talents,
Yes.
where
Whoa.
you can add your intelligence modifier to persuasion or deception check, but then you also can disguise self.
Yep.
Oh,
And so that's what I love about all these wild talents is you can have a little bit of psionic
Yeah.
in you, or you can really sculpt the character in a very modular way.
Yep.
Because it could be ice powers, it could be lightning, it could be a little bit more of the body morphing stuff.
Yep.
There's a ton of these that kind of covers like everything you could
we
wish
have
for.
ones that are almost like grandchildren of the Scion subclasses. So if you want a taste of like the Metamorph, but not in a full going full Scion, you can have there's little wild talents that give you a little bit of taste of that sort of psionic life manipulation or the flesh manipulation. If you want a little bit of that sort of telekinetic power that you get in the Psykinetic, but you don't want to do the full subclass, we have the Psykineticist wild talent feat for you to try out.
I know everyone's going to be extremely excited for this Unearthed Arcana. I know I am. As always, the best way that you can provide feedback, we always appreciate.
Yep. They're not even, they're just saying UA 2025, the Scion. They're not even like labeling it with a month or anything. So what's inside? We have, oh, there's 13 pages. Okay, so that's a good number. The first new class since the Artificer, the Scion weaves magic through the power of their mind. 4 subclasses provide unique identifiers for a Scion character: Metamorph, Psi-Warper, Psykinetic, and Telepath. A collection of spells, both familiar and new, enhance the options available to the Scion. And then wild talents are a collection of feats that provide characters a way to tap into psionic powers. Backgrounds representing connection to wild talents will be included in a future book if they become official, but in the meantime, a character who takes the noble or sage background can choose a wild talent feat in place of that background's origin feat, and any character can choose one of these feats when their class normally allows a feat choice. That's cool. That's cool. Then this is playtest material, awesome sauce. If we make it official, it'll be refined and then appear in a book. So hopefully maybe this will come out sometime next year. That would be pretty sweet. Scions weave magic and extraordinary powers through the power of their minds. They develop their minds as fonts of power that manifest spells and grow stronger over the course of their adventuring careers. I swear if they use the word power in this next sentence, it's gonna hurt. You can find everything you need to play in one of these psionic powerhouses in the next few seconds. Oh my god. They just used power in every one of these sentences. Sometimes more than once. That's crazy. Scions are spellcasters who use innate mental powers. Sometimes called psionics. History back to the appendix of the first edition Player's Handbook. And a psionics class first appeared in the complete psionics handbook in 1991. 5th edition, psychic power is synonymous with magic, and the magic of the mind flavors numerous spells, monsters, and subclasses, like the Psi Warrior Fighter and the Aberrant Sorcerer in the Player's Handbook. In this edition, the Scion is a spellcaster who interfaces with magic and spellcasting similarly to other classes in the game. This UA provides the Scion with unique twists to the spellcasting, using psionic energy dice and the psionic spellcasting feature, carving out a space to make the Scion stand out from its spellcasting peers. Okay, so primary ability, intelligence. It's a d6 hit die again. Saving throw proficiencies, intelligence, and wisdom. Skill proficiencies, you get to choose 2 of these. You get weapon proficiencies, okay, because I don't even think a wizard gets weapon proficiencies. Armor, no armor training, and then you get to choose between, you can get a spear, daggers, crossbow, case, dungeoneer's pack, and some gold. Not bad. Dope. Spell slots per spell level. Dope. They get all the way to level 9, just like... Wait, they get a level 9 spell at 17? Is that normal? I thought it was higher. Okay. Becoming a Scion. Level 1 character. Gain all the traits in the core Scion traits table. Gain the Scion's level 1 features, which are listed in the Scion features table. As a multi-class character, as a Scion class features, as a Scion, you gain the following class features when you reach the specific Scion levels. These features are listed on the Scion features table. Level 1, spellcasting. You have learned how to channel magical energy using the power of your mind. Psion spell list. Okay. Cantrips. You know 2 Psion cantrips. Minor illusion and telekinetic fling are recommended. Whenever you gain a Psion level, you can replace one of your cantrips with another. When you reach levels 10 and 14, you gain another cantrip. Spell slots. You regain expended spell slots on a long rest. You prepare the list of level 1 spells available for you to cast. When do you do it? When do you prepare? Whenever you gain a Psion level, you choose them. When you cast a Psion spell, that spell doesn't require verbal or material components, even if the spell includes verbal or material in its components entry, except material components that are consumed by the spell or have a cost specified in the spell. So you just have to do hand movements for most of your spells, is what they're saying. So you get spellcasting, psionic power, subtle telekinesis. So psionic power is you harbor a wellspring of psionic energy within yourself. This wellspring is represented by your psionic energy dice. Your Psion level determines the die size and number of dice you have, as shown in the energy die and number of dice columns, which are these 2 right here. As you can see, the energy die goes up. So at it starts as a D6, level 5 it goes to D8, level 11 D10, level 17 D12. So every tier it goes up, essentially, starting at a D6, which is kind of nice. And you do get a good number of dice. I wish they increased a little bit over time instead of just jumping like that, but whatever. Let me see, and then use to enhance or fuel your features. You start with 2 such features, telekinetic propel and telepathic connection, which are detailed below. Some of your powers expend energy dice, and you can't use a power if it requires to use a die when all of them are expended. You regain 1 energy die when you finish a short rest, and you regain all of them on a long rest. The save DC equals the spell save DC from this class's spellcasting feature. That's awesome. What are these psionic features? So you start with telekinetic propel. As a bonus action, choose 1 large or smaller creature other than yourself that you can see within 30 feet. And then roll 1 psionic energy die. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed or pulled up to a number of feet straight away from yourself equal to 5 times the number rolled. The die is expended only if the target fails the saving throw. Oh, okay. Okay, it's expended only if the target fails. Alright. Telepathic connection. You have telepathy within a range of 5 feet. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 psionic energy die and roll it for a number of minutes equal to your Psion level. The range of your telepathy increases by a number of feet equal to 10 times the number rolled. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's not too bad, not gonna lie. Alright, level 1, subtle telekinesis. You know the mage hand cantrip, you can cast it without somatic components, and you can make the spectral hand invisible when you cast it. That's pretty good. Alright, let's see. Psionic, level 2, Psionic Discipline. Psionic Discipline, you gain 2 disciplines of your choice. Such disciplines are described later. You can only use 1 discipline each turn and only once per turn unless otherwise noted. When you gain a Psion level, you can replace one of your Psionic Discipline options with one you don't know. You gain 2 more at level 10 and 2 more at level 17. So, you gain 2 disciplines, expanded awareness, and let's see. Psionic discipline options. They said expanded. Wait, what was it? Expanded awareness and id in situation. Expanded awareness. When you take the search action, you can expend 1 psionic energy die and add the number to the ability check. That's pretty cool. Then when you cast id insinuation, when you cast a scion spell from the enchantment or illusion school that forces a creature to make a saving throw, you can expend 2 psionic energy dice and roll 1. The one target of the spell you can see subtracts the number rolled from its saving throw against the spell. Oh, wow. Whoa, okay. That's like really, I don't know. Like, why do they suggest that one? When you cast a necromancy or transmutation, you gain temporary hit points. Okay, I like that. Destructive thoughts. When you cast a conjuration or evocation spell, you can expend a scion die, and they take psychic damage. When you can take the influence action and add an energy die to the ability check. Some of these other ones are way cooler than this id insinuation, I think. Expanded awareness, we did that one. Oh, ego whip. When a creature provokes opportunity attack, by leaving your reach, you can take a reaction to roll a psionic energy dice and force a creature to make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, the target speed is reduced by 10 feet and subtracts the number rolled from its next damage roll before it makes of its next turn. The die is expended only if the target fails the saving throw. Okay. Wow. That's pretty good. In errant aim, when you make an attack roll, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add it to the attack roll, potentially turning the miss into a hit. If it causes the attack to hit, the die is expended. That's pretty cool. But psionic backlash. After a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to expend an energy die. You roll 2 of them. Subtract the number rolled on each die from the total. In addition, you can force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes psychic damage equal to the amount rolled on the 2 psionic energy dice. So essentially you just do like a poof. Okay, that's the psionic backlash. That sounds pretty cool, actually, not gonna lie. Psionic guards. At the start of your turn, you can expend a psionic die until you start your next turn. You have immunity to the charmed and frightened condition and advantage on intelligence saving throws. If you are charmed or frightened when you use this discipline, the condition ends on you. Psionic guards. At the start of your turn, oh, we did that. Swift precognition. When you cast a scion spell from abjuration or divination, you can expend another psionic energy die to change the casting time to a bonus action. What? The number of dice equals 1 plus the spell's level. Wow. Tactical mind. When you take the study action, you can expend 1 psionic energy die, roll it, and add the number rolled to the ability check. All right, that's cool. These are pretty cool. The only one I don't like, and I think I don't like it because I don't know. I don't know why they give this one as an example. I think expanded awareness is a good one, but I would choose a different one as an example. Maybe like psionic backlash or something different. Okay, let's see. Those were all the psionic disciplines. That's so tough. You only get 6 total, and you don't get it till level 17. But oh well. Level 2, psionic modes. You have honed your psionic powers to act as both a shield and a weapon. As a bonus action, you can choose one of the following modes, granting you certain benefits for 1 minute or until you use the feature again. Damage from your weapon, attacks, scion spells, and scion features ignore resistance to psychic damage. In addition, when you roll damage for a spell, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to re-roll a number of damage dice up to your intelligence modifier. That's cool. Or defense mode, you have resistance to psychic damage. In addition, when you fail an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, You can take a reaction to expend a psionic energy die, roll it, and add the number to the saving throw, potentially turning a failure into a success. Okay, that's cool. You can use this feature twice, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Alright. I'd say maybe like proficiency bonus times per day, but that's fine. Scion subclass. You gain a Scion subclass of your choice. The Metamorph, Psywarper, Psykinetic, and Telepath are blah blah blah. Cool. Alright, let's see what else are the... we'll go to the subclasses after this. Level 4, Ability Score Improvement. Level 5, Psionic Restoration. When you finish a short rest, you regain expended psionic energy dice, but no more than a number equal to half your number of dice rounded down. So instead of 1, it's half. Okay. Psionic Surge. When you roll initiative, you can expend one of your hit dice and regain a psionic mode. In addition, after you roll one or more psionic energy dice, you can expend one of your hit dice and treat any roll of 1, 2, or 3 on those psionic energy dice as a 4. Wait, what? This doesn't make sense. When you roll initiative, you can expend a hit die and regain 1 expended use of your psionic modes. In addition, after you roll 1 or more psionic energy dice, you can expend one of your hit point dice. Oh, so you can treat... I gotcha. You can expend a hit die and treat a 1, 2, or 3 as a 4 on your psionic dice. Got it. That makes way more sense. Level 19, Epic Boon. Level 20, Enkindled Life Force. Really? Level 7 and then level 19? Really? All the subclass stuff is all in between those? That's crazy. Once per turn, when you expend a psionic energy die, you can expend 2 hit die to roll 2 additional psionic energy die and add the numbers to it. That's wild. I mean, I guess you do have a bunch of hit die at that point, but still. Okay. Spell subclasses. Okay, spell list. Are there any new ones? Cantrips. Oh, telekinetic fling. Oh, it'll say telekinetic fling. Tasha's mind whip. Intellect fortress. Summon astral entity. Telekinetic crush. Rolthalim's psychic lance. Ooh, psychic lance is a good one. What else? Is that it? Yeah, looks like it. Psychic Scream. Yeah, they're definitely looking at making another book, like for some of this stuff. I wonder what it would be in. What kind of book would they make? A horror book? I mean, they did the horror subclasses. This would kind of go in like a horror kind of book. Or just like a darker book. Let's go into the subclasses for the Scion. The Metamorph. Psychically sculpt life and flesh. Your mastery of psionic powers turns inward. Your own flesh becomes like clay to you, and you mold it to turn it into the perfect vessel. Experience in manipulating your life energy also enables you to adjust the life force of friends and foes alike. You always have the listed spells prepared. Whoa, so that gives you... So in addition to... So it goes up 1 every level almost. 4 prepared spells. And then you get another 1, 2, 3, 4 more prepared spells. Also, the Psywarper does. So does the Telepath. Each one gets extra spells based on the subclass, so that's cool. Aura Vitality, Haste, Polymorph, Stone Skin, Contagion, Mass Cure Wounds. It would be super cool if each one of these had its own new spell, but none of these are new. Do I even need Streamlabs? I'll keep Streamlabs bought up. Level 3, Organic Weapons. You can shape your limbs into weapons. Whenever you take the attack action or make an opportunity attack, you can reform your free hand into one of the following organic weapons. Bone Blade, Flesh Maul, or Viscera Launcher. Your limb immediately returns to its previous form after your organic weapon hits or misses. Whenever you attack with the weapon, you can use your intelligence modifier instead of strength or dexterity. And you can cause the weapon to deal psychic damage or the normal damage. Okay. A blade made of bone springs from your forearm and extends from your hand. The blade counts as a simple melee weapon with the finesse property, and it deals 1d8 piercing damage. You have advantage on the attack roll if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet and the ally isn't incapacitated. Ooh, bet 20 red. The blade counts as a simple melee weapon with the finesse property. What does the finesse property mean again? I forget. I should pull up. Let me grab the book. I got the book over here. Finesse means you can use strength or dexterity for the attack and damage. Nice. Flesh maul. Your fist and forearm coalesce into a hardened mass of flesh and bone. The maul counts as a simple melee weapon and deals 1d10 bludgeoning damage. Creature hit by the maul has disadvantage on the next strength or Constitution saving throw it makes before the start of its next turn. That's pretty cool. Viscera launcher. Your hand and forearm transform into a crossbow made of muscle and sinew that fires bolts of bile. The launcher counts as a simple ranged weapon, 30-90, deals 1d6 acid damage. Once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with an attack roll using the launcher, you can deal an extra d6 acid damage. So it does 2d6 the first time. Okay. Extend at level 3, extend limbs. As a bonus action, you expend a psionic die for the next minute. You gain the following benefit: extend limbs, reach increases by 5 feet, your speed increases by 5 feet. When you cast a spell that has a range of touch and a casting time of an action, you can make the spell's range 10 feet. Oh, whoa, that's cool. That's nice. Extra attack. Level 6, you get extra attack. Okay. In addition, you can cast one of your Scion cantrips that has a casting time of an action in place of one of those attacks. That's really cool. Oh my god, we're on the wrong... I need to switch this up. That's really cool. Like, holy cow. Quickened healing. When you cast Cure Wounds, you can expend 2 psionic energy dice to change the casting time to a bonus action. And when you do, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the total amount of hit points restored. Wow. Psionic. At level 6, what is this? What size is a psionic energy die? It's a D8. Okay. That's not bad. It's adding a D8. That's pretty good. That's cool. That's cool. Level 10, mutable form. When you use extend limbs, the duration increases to 10 minutes. And then you get to choose between one of these in addition. Stony epidermis. You have advantage on con saving throws to maintain concentration. In addition, you gain resistance to the chosen damage type. Whoa. Superior stride. When you aren't wearing armor, you can dash as a bonus action. And you have a climb and swim speed equal to your speed. That's pretty good. Gotta stay hydrated. Unnatural flexibility. You gain +2 to AC and your body along with any equipment you're wearing or carrying becomes pliable. You can move through any space as narrow as an inch, and you can spend 5 feet of movement to escape from non-magical restraints or end the grappled condition. Okay, that is cool. And that's at level 10. Alright, and level 14, once per turn, you can hit a creature with your organic weapon, and you can expend a psionic energy die. Each creature of your choice in a 10-foot emanation regains hit points equal to the number rolled plus your intelligence modifier. In addition, one creature of your choice takes necrotic damage equal to the number rolled. Okay, that's cool. That's weird. That's a lot. Each creature of your choice in a 10-foot emanation from you, that could be a lot of people, like very easily. Like, holy cow. Okay, Psi Warrior. Oh, Psi Warper. Tune their psionic powers to manipulating the space between objects, capable of teleporting across the battlefield and creating vacuums in space. A Psi Warper is never in one place for too long. Okay. So you get Expeditious Retreat, Featherfall, Misty Step, and Shatter. Oh, 3 teleportation. You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot, and you must finish a long rest before you can do it again. Or you can expend a psionic energy die. Okay, okay. Free for all brawl time. So that's cool. Or you can expend a psionic die. Great, great, great. When a target level 3 warp propel. When a target fails its saving throw against your telekinetic propel, instead of pushing it, you can teleport the target to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet. Telekinetic propel is psionic power. This one. Okay. You start with these two and you gain more later on, maybe. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Level 6 warp space. When you cast Shatter, you can expend a psionic energy die, so the radius becomes 20 feet. Okay. In addition, In addition, the creatures that fail the saving throw are pulled straight in. Okay, that's cool. Level 6 teleporter combat. Immediately after you cast Misty Step, you can cast one of your psionic cantrips. That is a cast type of action as a bonus, as part of the bonus action. What? This is wild. Duplicitous target. When a creature you can see makes an attack roll against you, you can take a reaction to expend an energy die. Choose a willing creature you can see within 30 feet that's not incapacitated. You and the creature teleport, swapping places. Okay. So you can switch with one of your teammates. Level 14, mass teleportation. As a magic action, you can expend 4 energy die and choose huge or smaller creatures equal to your intelligence modifier. Each teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 150 feet. An unwilling creature that succeeds on a wisdom saving throw is unaffected. Okay, so that's the Psi Warper. That's alright. And then you get Blink, Haste, Banishment, Dimension Door. Alright, Psykinetic. Mold psionic force for creation and destruction. A psykinetic controls their power like malleable force. They bend their telekinetic energies into sturdy barriers and strike with the force of a battering ram. Wow. So you get Cloud of Daggers, Levitate, Shield, Thunderwave, Slow, Telekinetic Crush. Autoluke's Rebellion Sphere, Stone Shape, Telekinesis, Wall of Force. Okay. I think each one of these subclasses should have had a special new spell in its spells. Like, that should have been like such an easy thing. Like, I don't know why. Telekinetic techniques. When you use telekinetic propel, the target's speed increases by 10 feet. The target can't make opportunity attacks, or the target fails the saving throw. It takes force damage equal to the number rolled on the psionic energy die. Okay, that's cool. So you can do a couple other things. You can you can boost a teammate with this. That's kind of cool. Level 6, Empowered Attack Mode. While your attack mode is active, you gain a fly speed of 60 feet and can hover. And when you cast the Psion spell, you can add your intelligence modifier to 1 damage roll of that spell. While your attack mode is active, you gain a fly speed of 60 feet? What? You can add your intelligence modifier to 1 damage roll of that spell? Whoa! Attack mode? What is attack mode? As a bonus action, when you go into attack mode, oh my god, that's so cool. What? You can start flying when you go into attack mode? It's kind of lit. Rebounding shield. When you cast shield, cause the triggering attack to a miss. You can expend a Psion energy die to launch the force back at the attacker. The attacker makes a dexterity saving throw. Roll 2 psionic energy dice on a failed save. The attacker takes force damage equal to the amount rolled, and you gain temporary hit points equal to that amount. On a successful save, the attacker takes half as much damage only. Misclick. Ah, gotcha. That's pretty cool. Number 10, when you cast Telekinetic Crush, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to modify the spell, so that whether a creature fails or succeeds on the saving throw against the spell, its speed is halved until the start of your next turn. That's cool. Then level 14, when you cast Telekinesis, you can expend 4 energy dice to modify the spell so that it doesn't require concentration. If you do so, the spell's duration becomes 1 minute for that casting, and you can target gargantuan creatures and objects. Wow. Wow. Holy cow. That's pretty good. And then, Telepath is the next one. Okay, Telepath. Masters of Mind Magic. They use their psionic powers for all matters of the mind, whether they bolster the mental defenses of allies or probe the thoughts of others undetected. A bastion of psionic aid or a crafty manipulator. Telepath spells. When you reach a psionic level, blah blah blah. Oh, Bane, Command, Detect Thoughts, Mind Spike, Counterspell, Speak with Plants. Compulsion, Confusion, Awaken, Modify Memory. Okay, that's cool. When you cast Mind Infiltrator, when you cast Detect Thoughts, you can expend 2 psionic energy dice to modify the spell so that the spell doesn't require spell components or concentration, and the target doesn't know you're probing its mind if it fails the Wisdom saving throw. When you can expend 2 psionic energy. Okay, so you can choose spell components or concentration, but not both. Level 3 Telepathic Hub. You have telepathy with a range of 10 feet. When you expend a psionic energy die, when you use telepathic connection to increase the range of your telepathy for the duration of the effect, you can simultaneously contact a number of creatures equal to 1 plus the number rolled on the psionic energy die. What is telepathic connection? That is up here. You have telepathy with a range of 5 feet. For a number of minutes, the range increases to 10 times the number. Okay. So wait, what did that say? It said you have telepathy as a bonus action. You can expend psionic energy die for a number of minutes equal to your psion level. The range of your telepathy increases by a number of feet equal to 10 times the number rolled. Okay. And so it was. So it makes the telepathy at 10 feet instead of 5. When you expend the die, you can contact them. Okay. So you can just like you can tell a bunch of people one thing at once. Empowered defense mode. While your defense mode is active, whenever you make a saving throw, you add 1d4 to the save. In addition, when your defense mode is active, you can extend this benefit to creatures you are telepathically connected with using your telepathic connection. Okay. Potent thoughts. You add your intelligence modifier to the damage with any psionic cantrip. Level 10, telepathic bolstering. You have telepathy out to 30 feet. When you or a creature you can see within range of your telepathy fails an ability check or misses with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to expend a psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the d20, potentially turning the failed check into a success or a miss into a hit. The psionic energy die is expended only if the check succeeds or the attack hits. Okay. Level 14, Scramble Minds. When you cast Confusion, you can expend 4 psionic energy die, so the radius of the sphere becomes 30 feet. In addition, creatures under the effect roll 2d10s, and you choose which roll determines their behavior. Oh, so that there's like advantage. Okay, that's cool. This. All right. Spells are presented in alphabetical order. Some are added to the Artificer spell list. Okay. Several spells. So the spells are updated. And there's new spells. And Psychic Lance and Mind Whip. Okay. Tasha's Mind Whip. The spell now restricts only the target's ability to make opportunity on a failed saving throw. Okay. So we got Intellect Fortress. Is now Artificer and Scion. Okay. Psychic Scream. Whoa, it's a level 9? Holy cow. Routhalim's Psychic Lance. You unleash a simmering lance of psychic power from your forehead at a creature that you can see within range. Alternatively, you can utter a creature's name. A pseudonym, title, or nickname doesn't work. If the name target is within range, it becomes the spell's target even if you can't see it. If the name target isn't within range or you use an invalid name, the lance dissipates without effect. Intelligence saving throw versus 7d6 psychic damage. Woo! And the incapacitated condition. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Summon astral entity. Psionic spirit stat block. Blah blah blah. Ectoplasmic splash. What? When you cast a spell, choose crystal entity, ectoplasmic entity, or ghostly entity. Blah blah blah. The spirit can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. Crystal spike. You can splash it, or there's an ephemeral ghostly ray. Shard swarm. The creature is hit by an attack. The spirit halves the damage it takes, and then it can teleport. That's kind of cool. So we got Tasha's Mind Whip. else we got? Oh, Tasha's Mind Whip. Telekinetic Crush. You create a field of crushing telekinetic force in a 30-foot cube. Each creature in the area makes a strength saving throw. Telekinetic Fling. You brandish the ammunition used to cast the spell and fire it at a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack. They take 1d10 force damage. Arrow, bolt, bullet, or needle. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Worth at least 1 copper. And it scales up. That's pretty awesome. Dun, dun, dun. These feats are in the wild talent category. Okay, there's quite a bit of them. Alright, let's take a look at them. Atomokinesis. You gain the following benefits. Once per turn, when you cast a spell or a hit with an attack roll and deal bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, or psychic damage, you can change the damage type to lightning damage. Psionic talent. You know the shocking when you cast a spell or hit with an attack roll and deal bludgeoning. What? When you cast a spell or hit with an attack roll, so if you do a spell that does bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, or psychic damage, you can change the damage type to lightning. Cool. You know shocking grasp. You always have fog cloud prepared. You can cast it once without a spell slot per long rest. No verbal or material components. Okay. When you reach level 3, you always have Gust of Wind spell prepared. Okay, that's pretty cool. Biokinesis, bend life energy. When a spell you cast restores hit points to a creature, you can roll a d4 and add it. You can use this benefit a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Okay. You also know Spare the Dying, and you always have Healing Word prepared. You can cast it once. Okay, blah blah blah. Level 3, you get Arcane Vigor. Nice. Next is Clairsentience. Is that like clairvoyance? Clairsentience. Minor foreknowledge. When you take the search action, turn into a fly, and then unwild shape. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. So when you do the search action, you can give advantage to yourself on the ability check. You can use this proficiency bonus number of times. You know guidance, and you have detect evil and good, and you get see invisibility. Ooh! Cryokinesis, once per turn when you cast the spell, blah blah blah. You can do cold damage instead. You get Ray of Frost, Armor of Agathis. What? Did they not include a level 3? Okay, Empath. When you take the influence action, you can give yourself advantage on any ability check. That's pretty cool. You always have Charm Person prepared, and then you get Calm Emotions. How come there's no cantrip? Flesh Morpher, Flexible Flesh. When you make a dexterity check, you gain a bonus equal to your intelligence modifier. You can use this benefit a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Awesome. Psionic Talent, you always have the Long Strider spell prepared, and then you get Alter Self. Why are these all not balanced with the same cantrip spell and third level spell? Like, what is this? That's wild. I don't get it. Mind Whisperer. As a magic action, you can choose a creature you can see within 120 feet of yourself. For 1 hour, you and the chosen creature communicate, blah, blah, blah. Short or long rest. Alright, not bad. psionic talent, you know, Mind Sliver, Dissonant Whispers, and ugh, what? I don't. Can you just be consistent for a second, please? Trickster. Trickster. Cunning Mind. When you make a charisma check, gain a bonus equal to your intelligence modifier. Proficiency bonus amount of times per long rest. You get minor illusion, disguise self, but no extra thing. Psykineticist. When you take the dash action, you can increase your speed by 10 feet. You can do this proficiency bonus per long rest. You get telekinetic fling cantrip and thunder wave. Pyrokinesis. You can change damage into fire damage. You also know produce flame, burning hands, and scorching ray. Like, what the heck, my guy? Just let me. Oh my god, I can't. So close, y'all. But yo, this this looks pretty cool. I kind of want to make a character. Should we make a character together? I can pull up an empty PDF and make one if y'all want to. Awesome. Thank you all for stopping by and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Like, a lot. Like, thank you so much for lurking and everything, and taking a look at the Scion with me. But yeah, if you want, when I come back, we can make a Scion character together.